power of giving. How are you giving back? How are you turning a negative into a positive? How are you living life forward? Hello, I'm Adrian Paul. On this episode of Live Life Forward, learning how to channel the power that lives in all of us. Giving back or playing it forward, we can and should find our passion. But first up, I'm joined by Olga Villaverde. Olga, good morning.
Good morning, Adrian.
Thank you for joining us. A little birdie told me that you have a very special story to tell us.
I do, Adrian, a special and powerful story to tell you. And it involves a young man who at the age of 10 became a victim of bullying. But he lived through it, and today Adrian has become a role model for other teenagers. So let's meet Morris Prince.
I felt like I was being weakened by negative energy. I started talking less and didn't make any friends at school. When I started to progress through it, it just started to get worse and worse.
It was a nightmare that lasted almost 2 years.
The kids that had bullied me, I didn't want to go. I didn't want to show my face at school because I knew something else was going to happen again after another day, and just never stopped.
The bullying began when Morris Prince was in middle school. He was 12 years old.
They'd yell out that I had no friends. They'd tell me that I sucked and that I'm not good at school and that I'm not good at baseball, and they'd yell it. It was like torture. Every time I'd wake up, I never wanted to get out of bed. I could never wake myself up because I just wanted to lay there, sleep, and just not say a word to anybody.
And every day, the bullying got worse. Morris went from being a straight-A student to failing in all of his classes.
I was losing my child. Sorry, that caught me off.
He just stopped making social contact, and he stopped making contact to me, and I just felt that way, like I was losing my brother.
While Morris's family tried to intervene, the verbal abuse continued. Then one day, it became physical.
Once when I was in PE class, this one kid out of nowhere pulled my pants down in school, and the kid that didn't want me to play baseball anymore ran up behind me and pushed me on my head.
Morris's parents rushed him to the hospital. He suffered a minor concussion.
We just wanted peace, you know? We wanted happiness and joy, and we just chose a new path.
Morris's parents pulled him out of school and took charge of the situation.
We started a bucket list. I think everyone should start living their bucket list now. Why wait? Life is too short to not be happy and have experiences. So we filled his life with joy.
The family took road trips, visited museums, spent time at the beach snorkeling, and focused on the sport Morris loves.
We were part of Baseball Youth Magazine, where he traveled around and met other children who'd been through similar situations. And through their stories, he gained insight and knowledge and wisdom. And through helping others, he helped himself.
So much so, Morris became an active player on the Vipers baseball organization. Now, he's speaking out and helping other kids who were victims find their voice.
You have to have people that will listen to you. You have to have mentors. You could talk to your parents, you could talk to your grandparents, you could talk to friends that you trust, that you know, that you've known for a long time. And you need to talk to them and talk about these things, and they will help you get through it. All you need to do is keep your head up and keep going.
The past may have held a few strikeouts, but today, it's only home runs.
He's happy, he's amazing, he's talking to me, he's talking to everyone, he's trying to make social contact, he's upbeat, he's amazing.
I don't care what anybody else says. I do my own thing, and I'm strong mentally, and I'm strong physically, and I know that nothing else can bring me down as long as I stay up.
Wow, he went through quite a lot.
He did.
Yeah, and seems like a remarkable young man.
He really is. And you know, today he's playing baseball. He's doing fantastic.
Good.
He's getting straight A's, and you know, he's living his life forward.
Well, thank you, Olga, for bringing us that section.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. And speaking of outstanding teens, let's meet another one. Time now for Allstate's They Say.
My name is Olivia, and they say that we're entitled, but I say we're innovators. We're innovators. Kuumbalinks uses hip-hop as a tool to give young people in Chicago opportunities within the art world. This organization was started by 3 women when they were just 19 years old as a passion project. Kuumbalinks has since grown into a huge pillar in the community, and it reaches thousands of people. It's so important for young people to get support in the arts. And Kuumbalinks not only provides great programs and activities, but they also provide kids the actual space to go and make really cool stuff. And then when they get there are people to support them, and they're given the tools so that they can succeed.
What's been monumental for our organization is our ability to show up. And I think showing up is underrated. It's those that show up that make things happen. So if you feel like you want to be a part of something, go for it. Just do it.
Just like Jaquanda said, I think the most important thing about volunteering is to find your passion and then just go for it.
Coming up, young minds, big hearts, youngsters on a mission to fight illness, and why we should all love giving. Ranked 5th in the nation by U.S. News and World Report, Seattle Children's provides hope, care, and cures to help every child live the healthiest and most fulfilling life possible. Delivering superior patient care to children every day, they specialize in meeting the unique physical, emotional, and developmental needs of children. Seattle Children's Research Institute, conducting pioneer research to improve the lives of children everywhere.
Welcome back. I'm in the kitchen with 3 special sisters. Hello, ladies. How are you doing?
Fine.
We all good?
Yes, sir.
Good. This is Shakara, Italia, and Nashi, who's determined to fight an inherited disease, one cake at a time. You might call the kitchen her happy place. This is where 13-year-old Najee Forrest spends a lot of her free time, baking healthy goodies with a purpose.
I love helping my sisters and kids that's battling sickle cell anemia.
Like most sisters, Najee and 18-year-old Shakara and 9-year-old Italia are close, but they're also bonded by a serious health condition called sickle cell anemia. The Mayo Clinic describes it as a condition in which there aren't enough healthy red blood cells to carry adequate oxygen throughout your body. There is no cure for most people, and the disease most commonly affects Black people.
You know, every day to day, you have to face all this uncertainty. They can just be laughing and talking, having a normal conversation, and all of a sudden, they get stricken with pain.
Nashanta Miller Forrest is a stay-at-home mom with a full-time job, if you will, managing the lives of her 3 daughters with sickle cell anemia.
Sometimes there'll be 1 daughter in the hospital, sometimes maybe 2, and it will set off a chain reaction, sometimes 3.
The girl's father, Nashanta's husband, travels frequently because of his job. So Nashanta relies heavily on her mother, whom she calls her backbone, and her oldest child, a son, for support. The family has endured a lot. Oldest daughter Shakara suffered her first massive stroke at age 8, another one at age 15.
We were very scared. By almost losing Shakara in the hospital, I did not want any of our daughters to die.
A holistic doctor told them that an unhealthy diet filled with processed foods causes chronic pain and other complications for sickle cell anemia patients. His prescription? A restricted diet.
And that's when we made a lifestyle change for the better. We came home, we got rid of all the bad foods immediately.
It was then, at the tender age of 10, a talented baker was born.
I told myself that I would love to give other kids a treats that they can enjoy. I actually told my mom and dad that I wanted to be a baker.
Najee creates flourless cake recipes using organic and natural ingredients that anyone can enjoy. She bakes them, sells them, and then puts 100% of the money, $4,000 over the past year alone, back into the foundation.
I'm glad my sister is helping out kids, sickle cell kids just like us battling sickle cell anemia.
And in addition to using the proceeds to buy baking supplies, Naji buys goodies for TLC bags filled with toys and other items for children stuck in the hospital for several days at a time fighting this disease. And she offers these wise words to all those struggling.
Just stay strong and know that you have someone by your side, your parents, and don't ever give up.
Well, I'm impressed, actually. I mean, that was pretty awesome. So I want to know how you do all of this. Do you use one of these?
Yes.
You do? Oh, good. So I'll let you have that. You can explain to me, what do you use in your cakes, in your famous cakes?
Well, first I have my butter, my eggs, my flour, sugar, pecan, and vanilla extract.
You're going to show me how you get into actually decorating the cakes?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead, because I might have to eat one of these in a minute.
This is my lemon cream cheese frosting.
Is your sister a messy baker or is she a neat baker?
A neat baker.
She's a neat baker, okay, good. How long does that take to set?
It doesn't take long, like about 10 minutes.
About 10 minutes? So show me this one.
This is my pecan caramel pound cake, and this is my pecan caramel frosting.
While you're doing that, what's inside that? It's pecans and what else?
Pecan brown sugar. I made my own brown sugar by scratch.
Oh, by scratch?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Now, usually I used to use a big sword. Now, I couldn't cut that with that, but I don't think I can with this one. But what would you... And now you're going to just
spread it.
Spread it all around?
Yes.
Well, up next, Amber Milt joins us with a story about the importance of giving. Stay with us. Okay, I'm going to try this cake now. Where's a knife? We need a knife. I need to find a knife. Somebody get me a knife!
So the saying, it's better to give than receive, it truly resonates for the man you're about to meet. Brad Formsma is the founder and president of I Like Giving, and he's written the book on the transformative power of living a generous life. I've read this, it's a great read. He also spearheads a digital platform for storytelling and idea sharing, and his son Drew is here with us today to tell us how progressive generosity has impacted his life. Brad, Drew, thank you so much for being here.
It's great to be here.
So, I mean, this really was some moving stuff here. I'm a New Yorker, so I need to be inspired. Tell us a little bit about your journey, how you came to write I Like Giving.
Yes, I had the privilege of my grandpa modeling generosity early. He would say things like, you know, Bradley, make a living by what you get, but a life by what you give. And then he just kind of showed me this generosity in the way that he thought of other people, the way that he used his words, the way that he shared his money, the way that he shared his stuff, and his influence. And so I had the privilege of Grandpa modeling it early.
And you've been at this some time. So Drew, you've literally grown up with this idea about giving. How has it affected you?
Yeah, so as I've been a part of many of these giving stories, one day I was with my friends at the mall and I decided to do my own giving story. So I was in line getting ice cream. This kid in front of me had a handful of change. I was like, this is my time to do my own giving story. So my friends are behind me and I paid for his ice cream. He's like, sure you don't want my change? I'm like, no, you can keep it for next time. I walk out with this joy and happiness, and my friends are all like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I get to give. It's this whole thing that started with my dad's grandpa, went down to him, to me, and I'm passing it on to my friends. And I think everyone should have this own ripple effect in their family. And a great tool is the I Like Giving book, because there's many stories that you can read to your family at the dinner table. And a lot of kids these days need this giving because there's so much that we put on kids these days. And so giving is a great tool.
And I love you mentioned the family aspect of this. And the book itself, it's written short stories, so easy to read, great on your morning commute. At the end of the day, what is it that you hope people are going to take away from reading this?
Well, we want people to be able to see generosity as something they get to do. And, you know, there's something significant when it's your idea. And so we just want to help give people story, which allows them to go from awareness into action. And then that habit starts to take place, which results in this incredible impact and ripple to many, many other people and generation to generation.
Now, if you're at home thinking, well, which I was kind of guilty of myself, you know, I don't want to go into debt, or maybe I'm giving money to people and I don't know how they're going to use it, or I don't have the time to do this. You really explain and address these ideas in this, right? So we're not alone in our thinking like that.
No, not at all. In fact, one day I went down to get our newspaper. I lived in Michigan at the time, and there's an article of a Sudanese father and son. And the article went on to say that these guys had gone through such terrible things, firebombed out of their village, and now here they live in this little home, and they have clothes on their back and a few bikes. In fact, the bike is how the dad gets to work, and the bike is the son's toy. And some thugs stole their bikes. And so it was an opportunity for our family to look at that and say, how could we play a role in that? So we read it, and my oldest son said, we got to go get them bikes. And so we headed out to go get them bikes. 4 hours driving around our city, we finally found these people. And the man, because of the language barrier, all he could say is, I like bike, I like bike, I like bike. And that really was the beginning of this movement called I Like Giving, where we would just tell that simple story, and our friends started coming back to us with, I like cavities, and I like Taco Bell, and I like down coats, and it was like permission.
Right. But Brad, you're also taking this into churches, into corporations.
What we found is that people are really embracing the idea of a story to teach them how to be generous, because so often when we hear about generosity, we think someone wants to get money from us. But when you bring generosity and the culture of it into a business, you could be generous in the way that you maybe don't hit send on that email. You could be generous in the way you collaborate. Yeah. The way you use your words. And of course that then ripples into the interactions with employees and vendors. I think we're finding it's just really good for the business as a whole. And of course churches have always had this way of talking about generosity that seems just money oriented. And I think that we're helping invite people into a bigger conversation, the bigger generosity word.
Right, so you guys are really living life forward. Now, I love your website. You have a ton of videos on there. They've been seen more than 31 million times in 170 countries.
Well, you're going to see 17 different stories that show generosity from different perspectives. People want a place to come and get good, clean content to inspire. 3, 4, 5-minute stories that bring people from age 8 to 98 in those stories. You see, what's happened is that those films are viewed in businesses, they're viewed in churches and nonprofits and colleges as a way of lifting up people and moving them from awareness to action.
Okay, and you've actually taken it a step farther, and you want people to have your email address and share their stories with you?
Absolutely. We put our email in the back of the book, Brad the number 1 at ILikeGiving.com, because we want to hear those stories from you. We want to use them in our social media platforms on Facebook. We want to share them with others because generosity inspires generosity. And so we want to just help bring people into the conversation, bring them into the movement, and have them change their family trajectory like it's changed ours.
And you're seeing that in your world, right?
Yes.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you guys so much for being here. And if you guys want to know more about I Like Giving, or maybe you want to share your own stories, you can go to ILikeGiving.com. And of course, you can always come to our website for more.
So it's almost time to finish, but before we go, let's meet another impressive team from Allstate's They Say project.
They say that there's no hope for the youth. My name is Angela Ross. They say I'm just another Southside kid, but what they don't know is I have a passion for filmmaking. When I began working with CTVN, it kind of broadened my horizon. It gave me more of a diverse outlook on life. And I was given the opportunity to work on a documentary called Peace in the Streets, which is about the violence in Chicago. A lot of kids are misguided and not mentored. I just want to be that figure, that voice, that guidance to them, to steer them in the right direction. Everyone has, a dream and whatnot. I just want to be the person that ensures them that it's possible. And I volunteer because I feel like not everything deserves an incentive. You shouldn't be rewarded with physical or materialistic things.
I hope today's stories inspired you, and maybe you can try and find something that speaks to your soul and find a way to give back. You can visit our website for more information, and please follow me at the Peace Fund and Peace Fund Radio, where every week you can hear more stories from those who are spearheading the issues affecting our kids. That's it for now, but thanks for joining me on this edition of Live Life Forward. Till next time, I'm Adrian Paul.